Could I have 2 Bacardis, 3 daiquiris, and you guys have scotch?
Never gave up too quick, never gave up. Never gave up too quick, never gave up. Never gave up too quick, never gave up. Never gave up too quick, never gave up.
Right, so I'm York. That's my artist name, that's what they call me. I hear you guys have questions.
Full of sci-fi jets, full of blunt, we could go as far as my.
I went to Rampart High School. It was a weird thing because going from primary school where like I was like bullied and the loser, I was telling this girl that was equally bullied that in high school nobody knows your background, so we get like a new chapter. And I did have a new chapter in high school. I reinvented myself and I had an idea of who I wanted to be, and then I became that person. Also, I heard about YAMS through a friend of mine who was in YAMS. Her name was Catherine King. She's a friend of mine. She went to the Vid School of Music. She plays like a trumpet or something, or a saxophone. I'm not sure, but she saw me doing covers in my statuses in my bedroom on songs, and she was like, "Would you like to perform for like an audience?" And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of like that."
Up, get a drink, change your mind, stay. If you promise you.
So COVID-19 made me realize who I was when nobody else was looking, because everything about artistry, everybody thinks it's about like false pretenses and who you want to be or who they want to see you as, but you can't progress and have an evolution unless you know exactly who you are, you know what ground to stand on, and what, like, not to be swayed by what people say.
You can never grow old.
Right, so my views on pretty much everyone's views on cannabis, that everybody had like this idea that it's for everyone and just smoke some weed every day. And I had to find out the hard way that it's not for everybody, especially people who are running away from things and think that they can make every day bright and better by smoking weed. That's where the paranoia comes from as well. Paranoia makes you worry about things and brings like thoughts and feelings to the surface for me. And people hate, oh no, I'm paranoid, but they don't want to deal with stuff. And either way, you have to deal with stuff. In terms of projects, I mean, like, I have so much music. I could legit release an album every month. Okay, not every month, but I have so much music that I just store away and release at a better time. We've recorded tons of music with the different artists I'm working with. Keisha Lee, Kaizania, Solly. Solly has a whole album on the way. It's pretty tight. So I'm mixed, like down the line, like black father, white mother or something, but my mother's colored and my dad is Zulu. And it's weird because, you know, I couldn't speak Vernac, but I've always understood it. And like my dad, because I grew up with my mother and she didn't speak Zulu in the house, and I moved to my dad and he still didn't speak Zulu in the house because I was looked at as like a, you know, a non. He didn't even want to teach me. He was like it was too late, even though I was like 10 or 11, and I wanted to learn. It's just, you know, it's hard when like you get made fun of for like trying to understand something. So sometimes I just wouldn't speak it, and it's better to just listen and respond in English. But now I'm physically learning by myself and reading books and stuff. I have a girlfriend. I think everybody knows I have a girlfriend. I love her a bit. Her name is Antonine, and she's the best.
Not too quick, never gave.
Fashion is mostly I'm not exactly where I want to be in terms of fashion. If I got like a ton of money or like I got like a voucher to go shopping, I think my fashion would be inspired by like video game characters and movie characters, and to try and look like them exactly, like cosplay and cos design. And I'm inspired by like Japanese fighting games and the way they look in that. I really love like Tekken and King of Fighters and Street Fighter, and if I can modernize that, I would.
Bruh, I barely listen to tales.
My acting career started when I was like a kid. I did this advert for my aunt's company. I was in her acting agency. I did this advert where I was a dancer, because at the time I was dancing in school. It was during the dance wave, so it was a Jet advert, and that was like my introduction to like acting for screen. And then many years later, I did a movie that I was the lead for, called The Stick Up, and it actually ended up winning a SAFTA award. And yeah, things were crazy at that time. People were crazy at that time, especially like you. But you think about it, you're a lead in a movie either way. I didn't even go to the premiere. I didn't go to the award ceremony. I don't like any of that.
Go! Light in the air just for color. Yeah, the world.
I think my my advice, I always make it an extension of myself and what I've learned instead of something I took from a book, and that's to know what ground you stand on. Because if you stand on the opinion of others, when those people are not around, when you stand on the opinion of others when they're not around, what are you gonna do? You need to start mapping yourself. Like, take advice, but also analyze advice. Yes. Okay, so Bronco is inspired by Steve Lacy, actually. Steve Lacy makes songs and stuff on his phone, but it's also a lot inspired by films I watched, like Kids, which was a 1999 film, and just rebellious, youth nature. And sometimes youth rebel to find answers on their own. Sometimes they're willing to listen, but either way, they're gonna find out things, though, without being scared. So
never gave up too quick, never gave up. Never gave up too quick, never gave up. Never gave up too quick, never gave up. Never gave up too quick, never gave up.